Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. And if you would like to save 10% with gamer subs, use code Tommy or click the link down below. It applies it automatically to your purchase. Am I the a-hole for how I got into a relationship with my boyfriend? I will try and make this as concise as possible, but there are a lot of aspects to the situation. I, 30F, was dating a man, 41M, for a few months. It fell apart, and I was distraught because I really liked the guy. So, I came up with a plan to try to get him back. This man had a best friend, 33M, who I started talking with more. I'm already not liking where this is going. And then I became flirtatious and eventually talked about hooking up and started hanging out a bit more. I figured this would get back at my ex eventually and make him jealous and help him realize that he liked me still. Fast forward a month or so, and I was going to an event which I knew my ex was also attending with his friend. I had a friend of mine, 36M, go with me, saying that he was my date to help with the jealousy with my ex, and I ensured that we stayed within eyesight of my ex. My ex's best friend ended up getting involved in the situation and confronted me, thinking we were going to be together, which I did not think would happen, and just added to the drama. I denied anything at all happening with my boyfriend's best friend, and they eventually ended their friendship. Here's where I might be the a-hole. Yes, because you totally weren't one before. A good friend of mine, 27F, knows the situation and says that I manipulated my now boyfriend to be with me and also ended a good friendship. That he would not be with me if he hadn't seen me with a date, and that I should confess everything that actually happened that day. My defense is my boyfriend's best friend willingly went along and was talking with me and hanging out, which he should not have done to his best friend. I just encouraged it. If this happened with me, it could have happened to anyone else he dated, and eventually the friendship would have ended anyways. I was not honest with my boyfriend about what all happened between me and his best friend, but we weren't together at the time, so I was not cheating, and nothing happened between us once me and my boyfriend got to get anybody else feeling a little bit steamed. As far as my date, I don't think I did anything wrong. I did not force my boyfriend to get back together with me. I just ensured that the situation was one that would help my case. We have now been together officially, and very happily for a few months, so it clearly was all for the greater good. I don't think I manipulated anything, and I know we would have eventually ended up together. I just sped up the timeline. So am I the a-hole? Was this deceit? Both, yes, you dumbass! Or just a woman doing what needed to be done to bring back the man I wanted. Yes, because nothing saves a relationship like emotional manipulation. Alright! TLDR, am I the a-hole if I set up a fake date and spent my time with ex-boyfriend's best friend, all to get him jealous and to be with me? Hey, so I messed up a relationship, and then I thought that I could save it by getting my ex-boyfriend jealous by hooking up with his friend and acting like we were suddenly now dating, and now they're no longer friends. Did I do something wrong? Oh, but don't worry, it was all for the greater good. Your definition of greater good must mean your own personal gain, don't you? Would I be the a-hole if I break off things with a woman that I'm seeing due to the race of her child? I, 30M white, and work as an actuary. She's a 28F. I haven't ever really actively looked for long-term relationships before. I was rather promiscuous up until now, hooking up with women that were in college and having fun. But I figured I'm at the age where I should be settling down. I was looking for a more older and mature woman as a partner. I met her on Tinder. While chatting, she mentioned that she was a single mother. I thought it was alright. I know it's a deal breaker for some, but I don't care about that much personally. She doesn't make as much as me, which I didn't care for either. I didn't share a lot of the common interests with her. She is also a Christian, which is nice. I was very much interested in her after chatting with her, and scheduled dates with her. We went on 2 dates so far. I went on the second date yesterday. It was on the boardwalk of Atlantic City, which was quite fun. She seemed smart and intelligent from what I could discern so far. The date was rather longer than our previous one, and we asked each other a lot more questions so we could get to know each other a lot better. She had a lot of stories to tell me. She did mention her previous ex-boyfriend and how they broke up shortly after their child was born. I was curious about the whole fiasco, so I asked questions like what her family thought about it. I came to find out that her family was not on speaking terms with her due to a relationship that she had with her ex-boyfriend and the pregnancy. She also mentioned how she supposedly doesn't get any financial support from the father of the child. At this point, I was interested and kept asking questions, and found out that her ex-boyfriend was a black male, and her child is mixed race. After I found out about this, I was momentarily in shock because I wasn't expecting this. I mean, from our messages and how she conducted herself, she didn't strike me as the type to have done that. She could see my look and asked me what was wrong. She had a frown/sad look on her face, like she knew what I was thinking. I kept my composure and acted normal for the rest of the date. I got a text from her when I got home. She asked me if I had an issue with the race of her child. I just told her I was surprised and didn't expect it. She messaged me asking if I was okay with it. I just said, yes, I am. She responded with giving me a call, where she mentioned how relieved she was that I wasn't going to cut things off with her like the other men, and how much she likes me and appreciates my kindness and understanding. The call ended. I'm clearly not okay with it. I don't want to be rude and just tell her that outright though. She seems so sweet, and it would be heartbreaking for me to make her upset in general. Would I be the a-hole if I break things off with her for this? I'm not going to break things off right now, I'll give it a few more dates, because it would be odd, nor will I tell her the actual reason why I'm breaking up with her. Let me get this straight, it's not the fact that she has a kid, it's not the fact that she has past relationships, it's because the kid is not the color you were thinking. That just sounds ridiculous as shit. The way I see things, don't dislike somebody until they give you a viable reason to dislike him, and not say it's just some dumb things like, oh yeah, I don't want to date you because your kid is brown. The more I say it, the more just stupider it gets. One thing that I know for sure is that she'll be better off without having you butt around if that's how you're gonna continue to act, dude. Am I the a-hole for ignoring my friend's safe word? Anybody else see a title and makes you want to smack somebody upside the head with a paddle with the word yes on the side? Right, so I, 17M, really look up to my sister's friend, M, who is 26F. And we both do Taekwondo. In our case, M is much taller than me, and also a lot stronger than I am. She and I get along really well, but there are times where we are practicing martial arts together, and I feel like she can be a bit too strict and micromanaging. Sometimes it gets on my nerves. Also, it's important to note that M has a safe word that she uses if she feels uncomfortable or scared for any reason when we are practicing together. And when she yells this word, the expectation is that I stop immediately. TLDR, that pretty much is what a safe word is. When you say that, whatever's going on stops full force. Handbrakes, all the brakes are on, it stops. Last weekend, Em and I were practicing as usual, and I was in a pretty bad mood that morning. Rather than trying to cheer me up or anything, she tried using a bit of tough love on me, which only made me get into an even worse mood. So we were practicing, and I basically decided to vent everything into my moves. It got too intense, and Em started panicking and screamed her safe word, but I refused to listen, and she eventually began crying. In my head, I always thought of her safe word as something kind of silly, and I have only heard about safe words when they are used in the under-the-sheet shufflings, and never outside of such. I did a few other things while Em was crying, and our practice ended when other people started getting concerned for her and pulled her off to the side. They ended up having to go to one of those mental hospitals after the practice because she couldn't stop freaking out. And I'm worried about anything bad that would happen to our relationship. Edited. Some of you are asking what other things I did to Em while she was screaming her safe word. I made a few moves that weren't part of what we were taught and trained to do, like grabbing her arms, pinning them above her head while she was on the ground, when that wasn't necessary at all. I also told her to shut up and quit whining and things like that. I was just focused on being 100% aggressive, as if we were in a legit fight. Also an edit. Some of you are asking about all of the other things I did to Em. Not entirely comfortable with opening up with those, but I made some extra moves on her that were outside of the standard curriculum. For example, I grabbed Em's arms and stretched them out and pinned them above her head while she was on the ground, and when she tried crawling away from me, I grabbed her at the waist and dragged her back to me. None of this was necessary, I admit. None of that was also none of that shit was stuff that you learned from your karate class. My thoughts at the time were, in a legit street fight, there is no such thing as safe words. It's a brutal in a real-life fight. So why should I go easy on Em? Because it's a freaking class? Right or wrong? That was what I was thinking. I also thought this way because she was the one who was acting all tough love all morning. She was trying to be supportive. Tough love is tough love because it does wind up having a good ending and there's good reasoning behind it. You decided to use her as a frickin' punching bag. And if there's some kind of word that is supposed to be the signal for let's stop this, that is something you are supposed to respect. Flat out. Yeah, people are not going to have safe words on the street. Are you on the street though? No, you're very much just doing self-defense stuff. But no, you decided to use your friend as your own personal punching bag. And if somebody's messed up in the head after that, I feel like there's probably past scenarios of, you know, arms getting pinned somewhere that probably would not be a good thing. My M29 girlfriend, F28, is upset because I recently asked her to be my girlfriend. Advice? Sorry, what? So, I, M29, met Lucy, F28, after she approached me as a fan of my work. I'm a painter, and she talked to me during an exhibition about how much she connected with my art. I'm a very introverted and private person, so I don't talk to many people, nor do I feel the need to. But Lucy caught my attention. After a few months of talking almost every day, I found out that we shared common interests like comics, musics, and other things. Eventually, I invited her to my house, and we made out. From that point on, we kept dating, and now it's been almost 2 years. Lately, she's been insisting on going into more dates, trips, and especially on me asking her to be my girlfriend. She used to ask me constantly, when are you going to ask the question? We even had arguments about it because I wanted it to be special, but I just couldn't find the right way to do it. She met my family, I met hers, and I know she referred to me as her boyfriend, but on my side, I still called her Lucy. Because she is my partner, and I hadn't formally considered her my girlfriend, and although I do love her, I like to take things slow, so I don't feel the need to rush certain things, like commitment. There were struggles in our relationship because she is very clingy and energetic, and I'm more calm. She would call me pet names, which made me uncomfortable, and she always had new ideas for me. She even helped me apply some of those ideas to my work, but at times, it felt like she was pressuring me to do more and getting too involved in my projects. Like a month ago, I discovered that she had contacted some art galleries to inquire about exhibiting my work, which led to an argument. Sure, I had mentioned wanting to do that in the future, but I don't feel ready. That argument led to her having a meltdown. She told me that I always say I'll do things in the future and that years have passed, yet I was still in the same spot. She said I never listened to her advice. This made me feel bad because I don't want to become something big. I just want to do what I love. And if people discover me, great. I'm not pursuing fame. But she had suggested I should do social media or other things to promote myself, which I think is cringy. After all of that, she brought up the fact that I still hadn't asked her to become my girlfriend. I told her I was waiting for the right moment because I wanted it to be special. She got mad and said that I always make promises that never become reality. She also said that I don't like to listen to her advice. After that, she stopped answering my messages and went silent. 2 days ago, I went to her apartment. The night before, I had spent hours making a handmade gift for her. I didn't have all of the materials I needed for it to be perfect, but I couldn't wait any longer because I don't want to lose her. I showed it to her and asked her to be my girlfriend, but she was disappointed. We had another argument, and I couldn't understand her reasoning. She had always told me that it didn't need to be special, but now she was upset because I had hyped her up too much. I don't understand why she's upset. In the past, she said that she didn't need it to be special. So now that I did something simple for her, she got angry with me. I don't know what to do. Since I don't want to ask my family for advice, I decided to post here. I made a new account because I post my art on Reddit as well, and I don't want to reveal my identity. TLDR, I, 29M, have been dating Lucy, 28F, for almost 2 years, and she first approached me as a fan of my art. We had our share of conflicts because she is frustrated that I haven't officially asked her to become my girlfriend, and feels like I'm not following through on promises. She's also very clingy, involved in my work, which has led to arguments. Recently, I gave her a simple handmade gift and asked her to be my girlfriend, but she got upset because I felt that I'd hyped it up too much, even though she had previously said that she didn't need anything special, and now she has stopped answering my messages and has gone no contact. I'm confused about what went wrong and how to fix things. Oh, the thing you should have done to fix things is, call her your frickin' girlfriend. How hard is that? Social media is not cringy. Pretty much anybody who happens to make stuff for other people to enjoy, I feel like, is going to utilize social media because it helps your stuff get around. And it's not like growing on a social media platform could do any good for you. Nah, there's no way that could ever frickin' happen. It's absolutely preposterous. Why would anybody want to, socialize on the medias with people? Would I be the a-hole if I dropped my friend because they ignored me when I wasn't mentally well? Hello! I was away on a trip with my friends for the last week for a sports tournament. The guy I was talking to with the intention of dating when he was ready came along. He acted like a dong to me the entire week, e.g. always on his phone, not talking to me, and being very aggressive towards me when he was drunk and I was trying to get him home. So, on Friday, I decided I wanted to talk about how he was acting, so I messaged him wanting to talk. It turns out he was never going to be ready, and he had no intentions of ever dating me. So, I dropped him and asked, "Did you only want to sleep with me and keep me as a friend because it's convenient for you?" He didn't respond. This conversation happened the night before we were all meant to travel home. I was meant to drive my friend home, but I received a message from her saying that she was traveling back home with someone else because she wanted to get back earlier. I was planning on leaving at the same time as the other person before she decided not to come with me. So she left me to drive home 10 hours by myself, and here I was driving wondering what exactly I did to warrant this response. And next morning, I wake up and I'm ignored by her when I go to grab water and pack my stuff out of the communal spaces. I asked another friend what happened, and apparently she decided to give me space because I cut the guy I was talking to, without saying anything to me. I felt rejected and that I was the one wrong for cutting him off when he had no intention of progressing our relationship / putting any effort into it. So I decided, because they couldn't communicate with me and check if I wanted space or not, I've decided to no longer be friends with her. Especially considering while driving back, I wasn't in the best mental state and had some not great thoughts. And having someone to distract me / talk about it would have been a big help, but I was abandoned with no explanations. So, would I be the a-hole if I dropped my friend because they ignored me when I was mentally unwell? But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Also, check out the playlist if you want to see more videos right away. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!